Viable alternative platforms have been a pipe dream for over a decade at this point, especially when it comes to online influencers who are a bit more edgy or controversial and often get banned. And even apart from the people who really want to push the line when it comes to making content, the general sentiment of the online community is that having competition to these monolithic platforms like YouTube for video or Twitch for streaming is generally a good thing, because competition breeds innovation. It's why anti-freaking monopoly laws exist, okay? Have you guys ever played that board game at Thanksgiving? No? No awkward sexual exchanges with your uncle after that one time in the backseat of a Chuck E. Cheese parking lot? Haven't had that? It's just me? Is anyone out there? Unfortunately for a lot of online influencers, it really seems that every alternative platform has sucked absolute ass cheeks. Failed ventures like Storyfire and Gab can still be viewed today, you can still use them, but for all intents and purposes, they're pretty much just dead, empty graveyards of fringe communities. The problem with hosting your own video sharing site or social media platform or streaming site like Twitch, YouTube, or Twitter is kind of twofold in my humble, terminally online opinion. Firstly, it's expensive as fuck, like hundreds of millions of dollars expensive to host that much video content. And the second problem is that people who are familiar with existing platforms hate new things. Because Google and Amazon hold what is essentially a monopoly on all online content creation, it's really, really hard to get people to want to check out your alternative platform when 99% of the rest of the population is on these other sites. It's not even 99%, it's like 99.9999999%. Even semi-successful platforms like Rumble need funding from multimillionaires to exist. Like, and I'm not even kidding. JD Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy, the fucking vice president of the United States, and an Indian guy. Frankly, if that's not a perfect example of how hard it is to create your own viable alternative platform, competing with YouTube or Twitch, I don't know what is. Rumble literally has Trump bucks, and they still can't get enough people on the platform to break even. So what do you do when you need daddy warbucks, when you need the war chest, you need the war room to help you out, and at the same time you need to get people interested in your new and upcoming platform? Well, some people's answer to that for a while was Kick. Kick was founded by Bidji. Kick was founded by this guy and Ed Craven, who are both billionaires with a B, and that's only because of a different company they founded called Stake, the biggest online gambling site in the entire world. And on the surface, this seems like kind of a cool prospect because these guys have seemingly endless money to spend on this platform. You don't got to really worry about being profitable because they essentially have an infinite money generator by owning Stake. But then the problem becomes, how do they get people interested in their site? I mean, as I demonstrated before, clearly you can have vice presidential money and still barely make the mark when it comes to actual competitive viability with these other bigger platforms. Well, to address this problem, the Kick founders came up with an age-old strategy. If you can't beat the competition, then just fucking buy them. They signed creators like XQC, Destiny, Aiden Ross, Ice Poseidon, Nick Merckx, Amaranth, and the list goes on and on with giant streamers that got giant contracts from Kick. Since they had effectively infinite money, they may as well put it to good use, and all of these contracts are in the seven-figure range, with some of them even supposedly being close to $100 million. I don't know if that's true. I would guess that some of that money is kind of wrapped up in gambling stuff, but still, it's a lot of money. And frankly, it also helped them that the need for competition does exist because people have grown increasingly tired of Twitch's policies and favoritism, so it also looked really good to people who wanted to give a big frick you to the man or whatever, right? Which makes sense, because like I don't really like Twitch. When I first saw Kick, I was like, that's a really cool idea. Ultimately, though, these guys are businessmen at the end of the day. So the real question here is not how they made Kick as big as it is, but the real question is why? What is the purpose? Stake does net these guys a fuck ton of cash, but hosting a streaming site is still really expensive. Doing content moderation, what little they do on Kick is obviously very expensive. And that's where the real underlying motivation comes in. The true purpose of Kick's creation isn't really to be a viable competitor to Twitch, purely as some kind of like moral pro-competition move to keep the marketplace fresh and keep ideas flowing. I mean, these guys literally use the same exact servers as Twitch's owner, which is Amazon. The true purpose of Kick is to get people onto Stake, if it wasn't obvious already. I mean, the inception of the site in the first place came about because Trainwreck couldn't gamble anymore on Twitch, so he wanted to make his own platform. So he got Ed Craven and this other individual to help him do it. And because the guys who own the site also own Stake, they can give streamers an infinite amount of chips to gamble with and lure the tens of thousands of impressionable people watching them to gamble on the site themselves, effectively making Kick profitable even if the site itself isn't really making any money when it comes from the raw traffic and ads they have there. It's a pretty solid business strategy, actually. I mean, I know there's a lot of moral questions around gambling and if promoting that is a good idea, and like I understand that, that's for good reason. But goddamn, if this isn't the most devious little plan to get all the kiddies to start gambling, drinking soy and consuming Red 40, okay, I think there's obviously something big megamind thinking going on here. And this strategy actually paid off in the short term. They had a bit of a golden era on Kick where a lot of people were saying, is this going to be the Twitch killer? Are they going to buy Twitch? Hey, Twitch, it's over for you, little bro. Your silly booby streaming website is cooked. But unfortunately, even from the start, there were kind of cracks in the foundation here. You see, a big part of the appeal of Kick was that because they were essentially 100% self-funded with barely any ads, especially compared to Twitch, and they had a 95-5 revenue split for creators, it became very attractive to people who were banned on Twitch or were known to make controversial content that would otherwise get them banned on Twitch or YouTube if they continued streaming there. Streamers like Jack Doherty, FouseyTube, Neon, Sneeko, Aiden Ross, and a lot of other people would be able to stream to thousands live and do, you know, things that would get them banned on Twitch or any other site. But Kick isn't at the mercy of advertisers like a lot of these other platforms are, which is pretty cool actually. It's kind of an independent thing, so content creators don't have to abide by these arcane, retarded rules set in place by Twitch, and they can still make a very good living. I think that's a really cool thing, and regardless of the outcomes of Kick in the end, I think that supporting alternative technology in general is good, even if like a lot of the time it doesn't work out. But I think the real problem here is that when you have a website that is completely populated by people who are banned in other places, I think it's kind of hard to deal with how unhinged some of those people will be when they feel like they can get away with things. Because of this wacky behavior, Kick has had to ban several creators several times. That, along with several large streamers' contracts expiring soon, has led many to believe that Kick is living on borrowed time and is currently dying. And realistically speaking, if you're doing shit that even Kick says is too far, like, you know it's kind of over for you, and some of these clips are absolutely insane. For example, Jack Doherty, as we all know, crashed his car recently. When that happened, he was streaming on Kick, and he got permabanned for it. But Jack is basically a booger-eating, spoiled child that blew up, making everyone else's lives miserable, usually at Walmart or Target.
Get out, now. Are you here with your mother or father?
He's been doing epic My Name Jeff prank videos since before he even hit puberty, and he's even 100% been enabled by his parents, which is pretty sad because they just like that he's making a bunch of money doing all these stunts. They don't actually have any moral issue with the fact their son is a degenerate. And so after a while, Jack would transition from YouTube to Kick, where he would do the same things he was doing on YouTube, but live, and then it would get even more extreme. I went into a lot greater detail about him in my video on him, but a lot of his content just kind of revolves around him walking around in public, annoying people, and then they like confront him because they're like, hey, why are you being annoying? Why are you being annoying to me? Why are you a menace to society? And then his big security guard will step in and Jack will hide behind him and mock that person because he knows he can get away with it. This escalated to the point of eventually having his own security guard sucker punch someone in the fucking face after Jack was once again just being annoying, and the guy was like, you're annoying. And then the security guard just decked him. Superman punched him in the face.
Who are you talking to, dog? I'm just saying, y'all say you just walk. Then walk.
Ooh. Unsurprisingly, this ended up with Jack getting sued for assault, and then he tried to back out saying, actually, I think State Farm needs to pay for this. It wasn't me. It was my security guard that I paid to be there that acts like this all the time. How could I have known? His insurance claim here was obviously denied, and it's very indicative of Jack's personality, honestly, that he even tried this. He thinks he can get away with anything by waving money or lawyers or whatever at it because he's never been held accountable for anything in his entire life. Not by his parents, not by platforms. In fact, it's quite the opposite. He's been rewarded by getting rich and famous off of being a fucking scumbag. And in that way, I think it's kind of poetic that the one thing he can't fix by throwing money at it is a car crash that he's 100% responsible for, and then it got him banned. Jack could have literally killed someone because he was too busy watching Darius reels on his phone.
Look at, oh my God! Somebody got into the cornflakes, y'all! What the heck? You gotta clean this up! He gonna take the bag.
And Jack is still banned from Kick to this day, so let's hope that's actually kind of a definite thing. Even his own brother was like, yeah, he 100% deserves this. He needs to learn. My brother sucks. FouseyTube, or as I like to call him, my cute little Risley bear, is someone I've also recently covered pretty extensively that seems to be a constant thorn in Kick's side, while also being an absolute content machine that they just don't want to get rid of. The last time I covered Fousey, he had apparently been permanently banned, this time for sure, guys, after he threatened to intentionally make his IRL health hit 0. mean, don't you guys just love that I can't even say one word on YouTube that's like a real word without getting demonetized for 10 years? Isn't that awesome? Fousey had already been banned before, and then they unbanned him because they need content creators desperately. But at this point, his Manic episodes have been such a recurring pattern that everyone's just used to it. It's why people watch him at all now. But after Fousey had his most recent breakdown, Kick was very adamant, okay? They said this is a permaban, and it really did look that way. No more Fousey, man. This isn't good for anyone. But apparently, Kick just couldn't resist the Risley Bear, and frankly, neither can I, because as of recording this, Fousey has been unbanned and is literally streaming while I'm talking right now. What's going on? Wait, why is he... Okay, so he's dancing. Yeah, let's go in the shower together, Fousey. Even after talking all that talk about drawing a hard line in the sand, Fousey is just too entertaining, or more so, Kick might just be so desperate that they can't afford to permaban someone that draws in so many viewers. Fousey was streaming the other day to 33,000 people, which is absolutely an inflated number. Kick has a serious botting problem that's been covered by a lot of creators. A lot of streamers are either botting it themselves, or someone else is botting them, or Stake is botting them, or whatever. But his chat is moving fast enough to where I would believe he still has some following of people that want to see the insane shit he's gonna do next.
132599413.
No! You dumb god damn it! I just got that new phone number. Oh!
Neon is another massive Kick streamer. He's also really annoying. He recently got banned after a fight broke out between strippers when he had a 30-day marathon stream.
I'm here. You're not gonna touch me. What's up? What's up? You're not gonna touch me. You're not gonna touch me.
Neon's actually really similar to Jack Doherty and Fousey in the way that he IRL streams and does, whoa, wacky, crazy stuff. But he's basically like a nerdy pencil neck guy who likes to poke and jab people into giving reactions, as well as just faking a lot of drama with fellow Kick streamers. He actually got arrested in Dubai for being a public menace, and he's been banned several times from Kick as well. And his most recent ban is similar to the others because he got unbanned right away. I have a little bit of a sneaking suspicion that these bans, specifically for Neon, are just meant to stir up headlines and get people talking about him, because Kick viewership's been kind of dwindling for the past few months. Even the way he responded to the ban, saying that it will conclude the 30-day 24/7 stream, just kind of sets off my sussy radars. Like, there's just something about it. He knows he's not getting banned permanently.
What's up, guys? As you know, last night I got banned, and that will conclude the 30-day 24/7 stream. I want to say first and foremost, man, you know, Kick does have to ban for certain things, and whatever it is what it is. I'm making content at the end of the day, and I'm going to keep making content, and that's that.
Now, Kick has a lot of other large creators that have recently been banned that I can't, you know, go into the boring minutia of every single person here. So we're going to have a bit of a first here on the Tom Dark channel, something I call the official Turkey Tom Kick ban lightning round. First off, we have the resident wigger of Kick, Convy, getting banned for some crazy things he said to a minor. I thought this would be more of a John Zerka situation, but he tried rizzing up minors by saying he wanted to put his wang in their monkey nose. Like, Convy, what's going on, big guy? Do you need Prozac? Do you need help? You need something to get you down? You need a Percocet?
I'm trying to have sex with you. Like, I'm gonna get straight to the point. I'm trying to have sex with both of y'all. Real shit.
How old are you?
You got a monkey nose. I'm trying to put my dick inside that monkey nose. I'm talking to the girl on top.
How old are you?
21.
That's crazy.
And how old are y'all?
I'm 15. You talking about putting dick in monkey noses, nigga? You're caught. You're going to jail.
Chat, she's not 15. No, that's a bad. No, hold on. Chat. She's dead. No, listen. I hate when bitches try to do that. No, I hate when girls try to do that because she is actually not 15.
Convy's still banned to this day, and Aiden Ross has even said that it's going to be a long ban because he was previously banned for threatening a viewer live on stream. Then we have a guy called Connor who is banned for going to a takeover event. Takeovers are basically underground car shows where people shut down major roads and they just do donuts in the middle of the road while a crowd watches, and then everybody's just like honking like, get out of the way. I have to feed my children. Please get out of the way. Frankly, it sucks and it's cringe. Connor got banned because he filmed a takeover where a guy accidentally hit a bunch of people that got in the way of him doing his sick epic donuts in his riced out car. Unfortunately, this ban was only for 7 days. And to end this lightning round, we got a bit of a 2-for-1. Streamers Heel Mike and Zerka have been permabanned from Kick even to this day for being very weird to a 16-year-old girl on stream. Zerka specifically had a history of baiting people with this kind of stuff, saying he was talking to minors on stream when he actually wasn't. But this one is real. Regardless, as Kick themselves say, he was soliciting minors on stream, and that was enough for both of them, both Heel Mike and Zerka, to get the definitive boot.
What do you like most about Mustache Man?
Their dick.
Got that Aryan dick, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that blitzkrieg in there, right? Lightning war. You're not actually underage.
I am.
She is. I'm older than her.
2009.
I was in grade 9 then. So I was in grade 9 and you were like this. Coming out.
Yup.
You were hotter. Yeah, when you came with the placenta.
And that concludes the official Turkey Tom Kick Ban Lightning Round. Hope you guys enjoyed. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. I'm gay. Apart from all the bannings that have been happening, a big reason why people are saying that Kick is going to fall off soon is that streamer contracts are ending soon because it's the end of the year, and several of these big streamers have alluded to not renewing these contracts or have straight up announced they're not going to Kick anymore. Nick Merckx, who's a massive streamer that apparently signed a $10 million deal with Kick, announced that he'll be parting ways. Lads, my Kick deal is up. They showed mad love over the last 2 years, and for that, I'm super grateful, wishing them nothing but continued success. Moving forward, we will be primarily on Twitch. Though no platform is perfect, I believe this is best for the community. See you tonight. XQC, who's obviously a massive draw to Kick, has also alluded to not renewing his Kick contract.
For the Kick contract, I don't know yet. This is a plan renewing the Kick deal. I have no idea what the future looks like. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna give you a fake answer. I generally don't even know what I'm doing like next week or something. Does that make sense? Like, it's whatever. I don't know how they're gonna feel about it in the future. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if things are gonna be what I want it to be. What if I have a dumbass take and then some crazy shit happens in the fucking in the market and in the fucking platform and shit, and then changes, bro? We might all be fucking like plugged into our phones and fucking live streaming to TikTok 24/7 fucking tomorrow or for all I care.
Now, there's a lot of speculation as to what happened here and why this is the case. Sneeko has apparently signed an $8 million deal with Kick. I don't know if that's real, but that's what they're saying, okay? And XQC is not a fan of Sneeko in the slightest.
Bro, this is the cap of doom. Yo, listen, I don't even know nothing about this. I'm putting it all on the line, all of it. If this is actually true, and it's true, I quit. I kick myself off the platform, I'm outie. Because I know it's not true. Bro, I'm making this, I'm making the wild jump, and I'm just saying, I legitimately, I quit instantly. This is true.
If you can't tell, I am very, very suspicious of this supposed $8 million deal and if it's even real. Don't get me wrong, Sneeko has had a massive streak of popularity in the past, but now he's kind of fallen off. You don't really hear people talking about him outside of commentary videos where they shit on him. There's no like favorable coverage of him on YouTube. It's confirmed already that he bought his Twitter account to make it look like he has more people liking his stuff than he actually does. Andrew Tate confirmed that when he was arguing with him. So I think it's fair to say that right now he's at a low point in terms of views, so it doesn't really make sense that Kick would sign him for $8 million. The only reason I can think of as to why they would announce a big deal like this is to make Kick seem like it isn't dying and they're still booming in popularity. Look guys, we just signed this massive streamer named Sneeko for $8 million. He's popping off. Kick is doing so good, guys. At least that's the thought process that I'm guessing they're going for here, if the deal is not real. More recently, as I'm literally in the process of making this video, apparently Adin Ross is confirming that he's left Kick, even though it's not really confirmation and this is just clickbait. Basically what happened was Adin unfollowed Ed Craven, the Kick CEO, on Instagram, and then he tweeted out, "Nah, no script. I found that out from y'all posting it. I'ma still stream with John, but where?" Obviously, he's kind of alluding to the fact that he wouldn't be streaming on Kick anymore, or at least for this stream, he wouldn't be. When people started talking about this on Twitter, as well as the rumors that he had been unbanned from Twitch, Adin would reply with a laughing, crying emoji. Honestly, to me, this could be a total toss-up. If Adin is actually leaving Kick, then I think the platform is 100% totally fucked, and big streamers will definitely follow him. He's basically been the face of Kick for a while, even bigger than Trainwrecks, because Adin is just more on his streaming game. So if he jumps ship, it's pretty much guaranteed that all of his little dick suckers will too. At least the ones that aren't banned on Twitch. But the fact he's being so vague about all of it makes me think he's probably just being a shitter and trying to get people to talk about Kick at all, and the idea that Kick is dying so it has more publicity. And then it's like Kick's making a comeback. These guys really play weird publicity games all the time. And on top of that, Adin is no stranger to faking stuff in general. So this could very well be that. But really, we'll just have to see what happens as this situation evolves and he clarifies or screams more. For now, all we can really do is wait and see what the fate of Kick will be in the coming days. I personally think it will 100% die like every other alt-tech streaming platform, but who knows what could happen. Like my esteemed, respectable uncle once told me in the Chuck E. Cheese parking lot, anything is possible. Very inspiring words.